Hello everyone, my name is Sunali Danaprumpa. My metric number is 2555726. Today, I will present on topic chapter 6, which is packaging for export. Packaging is always the responsibility of exporter regardless of the Incoterm use. There are three levels of packaging, which is primary, secondary, and tertiary packaging. Primary packaging, which is consumer packaging or what consumers sees when they purchase and handle the product. It is part of the marketing function of the firm. Secondary packaging, which usually group several of consumer goods into one unit, usually a thin cardboard box or a shrink wrap. This is what the retailer sees and handles before the goods are placed on the shelf. Then, tertiary packaging is transportation packaging that includes all the activities designed to ensure safe and efficient delivery of the goods in sound condition to their foreign purchaser. For customer goods, it is the packaging placed around the secondary retail packaging unit. And for industrial goods, it encompasses all the packaging activities aimed at protecting the goods during the shipment. Next, there are some functions of packaging. Packaging are used to protect the goods during their international voyage, to facilitate careful handling of the goods while they are in transit, provide good customer service. Customers should not have to spend a lot of time unpacking goods and preparing them for sale or service. Exporters need to properly pack the products before shipped to consumer, and improper packaging will make the insurance company refuses to pay a damage claim that it considers avoidable had proper packaging procedures been followed. Improper packing means that the goods are not protected properly for an international shipment. Besides that, there are some objective of the packaging that exporters must provide appropriate packaging to protect the goods against some damages. Firstly, mechanical damage such as breakage, crashes, and nicks. Water damage such as ocean water, rain, and container sweat. Packaging also used to protect from theft, tampering, and pilferage, fire strandings, sinkings, collisions, jettisons, and many more. International shipment expose greater risk than domestic, so it required higher packaging requirement than domestic shipment. Exporters also need to provide customer service, which packaging that can easily be opened by importer, packaging list in the customer's languages, and properly marked and standard size packages that can be placed directly in warehouse. There are some types of ocean cargo shipments that require packaging, such as full container load cargo. Full container load cargo is a shipment which volume and weight are close to the volume and weight limits of a container, or the shipper requests that it be the only cargo in a container. It is better for cargo to be unitized on pallets that made of woods or plastic. It allows the use of mechanical equipment to move the merchandise as a unit. It can prevent some of the problems in manual handling and offer an additional level of protection by insulating the goods from water standing on the ground. For full container load cargo, heaviest goods should be at the bottoms of the container to keep center of gravity lower. Center of gravity should be in center of container. There are software programs to help in packing containers. If not unitized, cargo should be protected from crushing and moisture by being placed in high-grade corrugated cardboard, double or triple wall. If stacked, layers of strong cardboards or sheets of plywood should be used in between layers to protect lower levels from collapsing. Since there are often spaces in container, it should be filled with blocking materials, which are called dunnage. The goods need to be secured to container itself if possible. Lastly, the entire floor of container should be occupied to keep cargo from moving. Next, less than container load is a shipment which volume and weight are below the capacity of a container and for which the shipper does not request that it be the only cargo in the container. It generally consolidated with other shipments into a single container by a freight forwarder. Goods must be unitized or placed in a crate or box and be better protected as there is a greater risk of mechanical and water damage. Consolidators or the owners of the other cargo in the container may not have packed their goods well and they could be a hazard. Next, breakbulk cargo or known as general merchandise cargo, is a cargo that is unitized in a box, crates, barrel, or bags, and that is placed directly into the hold of the ship, either too large or too heavy to be placed in a container. Next, there are some packing alternatives for breakbulk cargo. Boxes and crates, which are wooden structures made especially for a product to be shipped breakbulk because it does not fit into a container or because the exporter deems that an additional level of protection is necessary. While boxes have walls that are an integral part of their structure, crates have a frame and that can be opened or closed with the walls. Next is bag. Multi-shipping bags are used to carry chemicals, powdered materials, paper or fabric bags. Last bag called flexible intermediate bulk container with a carrying capacity between 1 and 3 metric tons. Drums such as metallics, drums which is for wet and dry cargo. It is resilient and resistant to water damage and pilferage, but it is heavy and costly. Fiber drums are more resistant to water damage, pilferage than bags, but it is sensitive to mechanical damage and cannot roll on their side as steel drums. For all wood packaging used in international shipping, it must be conforming to the International Plant Protection Convention, which mandates that wood used for packing or dunnage be heat treated or treated with chemicals to prevent insect infestation. Marking for proper handling should display weights to prevent use of inappropriate handling equipment such as the net weight of cargo alone and the gross weight of cargo plus packaging. Markings are also used the International Organization for Standards, which is ISO, handling pictorials. Next, air transport. Although frequently used, secondary packaging is not appropriate because it is not sufficient to protect goods. Brand marking can tempt thieves. For cargo sensitive to humidity, put small packets of desiccant materials in the box. For road and rail transport, cargo protection requirements are similar to those of shipment by ocean container, as international road and rail transport is hazardous. Next, they also have some special cargoes, which is hazardous cargo and refrigerated cargo. For hazardous cargo, ocean shipments are regulated by the International Marine Organization. Air shipments are regulated by the International Air Transport Association. For refrigerated cargo, different commodities require different handling. Most refrigerated cargo travels alone, require their own specific temperature and humidity setting. Most fresh produce cargoes travel alone as well, can contaminate other fresh produce cargo if mixed. Refrigerated containers record the temperature and humidity setting and actual temperatures and humidity for the entire voyage. Okay, that's all for presentation today. Thank you for watching.